Hi again, it's Tracy. I wanted to make this video on another very important topic that's always on my mind, especially in recent years, and sort of it's becoming more prevalent in my mind the more I grow older, and the more I'm starting to mature as a person. But I feel like I've been thinking about this topic a lot whenever I go out with friends or whenever I go into the city. I feel like I've always struggled with insecurities, and I really wanted to make this video to hopefully be relatable and be helpful for anyone out there, especially any females out there that kind of feel the same way as I do. But today I wanted to talk about sort of the topic of you don't have to always be the prettiest girl or woman in the room. You know, I feel like there's a lot of YouTube videos and social media posts out there about how to be magnetic, how to be confident, how to turn every head when you walk into a room, stuff like that. But I feel like I haven't really seen anyone make videos about the fact that what if we don't want to be, you know, this all magnetic person who likes to draw attention to themselves. Like, for example, for me, in this case, I'm a huge introvert. I hate drawing attention to myself. And I feel like I'm okay with not being the hottest person in the room, any room that I walk into, because I just really don't like drawing attention to myself. I kind of view attention as like an anxiety-inducing thing for me personally. I know a lot of people love attention and they sort of thrive off of that, especially if they're more extroverted or outgoing. But for introverts like me, I feel like we don't really need to be, you know, magnetic or turning heads everywhere we go. And so I kind of wanted to make a video for anyone out there who feels the same way that I do about the fact that, you know, especially if you're a woman, because as females, we tend to be subjected to unrealistic beauty standards, which is something that men don't really have to worry about as much. I know men have their own sort of conventional attractive beauty standards as well, but I feel like they're not really held to it as much as women are, because I feel like sadly we live in a very superficial world that idolizes beauty, and women are kind of viewed as being valuable with the amount of beauty we give out to the world based on our looks, which is extremely superficial and sad, but it is sort of the society and the world that we live in. And I guess I just wanted to make a video on this topic. And I'm not saying that I personally think I'm ugly or anything. I mean, I know I'm definitely not the most attractive person in the room or like in anywhere I go. There's always going to be other people better looking than me. But I wanted to make this video to say that that's okay. You know, I'm okay with knowing that I'm just another average looking Joe, and that's okay. I don't have to be the hottest or the most beautiful or the most breathtaking, you know what I mean? And I like the way I look. I don't hate myself. I think it's important to still have sort of like a quiet confidence in yourself, but it's also not the end of the world if you're not the most attractive in any room that you walk into, you know what I mean? So I have my laptop here with me because I wrote down some speaking points and some notes that I kind of wanted to make in this video to hopefully sort of convey my points across to you guys watching, and to kind of further go into detail and discuss my thoughts and my opinions on why it's okay and even better to not be the most beautiful girl or woman, and that it's okay if you don't turn heads everywhere you go. You know what I mean? It's okay to be average. That's what I'm saying. I know we live in a world that prides on being exceptional in everything, being perfect, but there's no such thing as perfection. You can improve yourself, but you can only do so much. And because the notion of perfection is false, it's non-existent, and that definitely correlates to looks. So sorry, I feel like I need to burp, but I won't do that in this video. Anyways, so I'm just gonna be reading my notes that I have on my laptop here, so don't mind me, and I apologize in advance if I sound a little robotic because I wrote these ahead of time so that I wouldn't lose my train of thought. But yeah, I'm just gonna jump right into my notes. So my opening thought is challenging the notion or the need to be the prettiest or the most beautiful, gorgeous, cute, breathtaking, hot, whatever adjective you want to call it. For a long time, I felt like I had to be the prettiest girl in the room. Like my worth was somehow tied to being seen, admired, and validated. But beauty is subjective, obviously. And chasing validation through appearance only leads to burnout and detachment from your true self. And the idea of burnout is going to be super prevalent on my channel. I'm currently going through burnout and experiencing that right now. So you're probably going to hear the word burnout a lot in a lot of my YouTube videos. But basically the goal of this video is to normalize not being conventionally the prettiest, and that this doesn't mean you're lacking or less worthy. So I kind of wanted to discuss the pressure of visibility, which is like the next topic that I want to go into. Society tells women we should always strive to be desirable, presentable, and polished. But being visible in that way can often attract unwanted attention, superficial connections, or even unsafe situations or energy. Constantly performing for others' gaze is exhausting and disconnects us from our authentic energy. So what I mean by this is I am a very spiritual person. Technically, I grew up being raised as a Buddhist, but I'm very open-minded to all sorts of different religions and philosophies out there. So I'm not like strictly only Buddhist, even though that is sort of what I've grown up being, in my life. But in, being pretty spiritual, I do believe in the notion or the concept of energy. And I believe that, there's auras and there's energies that we give off, that we emit as beings. And I feel like every living being gives off a certain energy. There's energy all around us. And in science, energy cannot be destroyed. It can only be transferred. It can't be created or destroyed. It can only be transferred. So that's sort of an important concept that I'm trying to convey in my points that I was just saying. In terms of basically, sometimes you don't want to be the most conventionally attractive person in the room. You don't really need to turn heads or draw too much attention to yourself, because that's exhausting, because you feel like you need to almost perform in a way. Like you're not being your authentic self in the moments where you feel like you have to look polished and sort of stand up tall and try to play the part of being the most attractive person in the room. It becomes like a show, a performance. You're not being you, and which also breeds very fake and superficial connections and social interactions, because then you're probably only getting attention from people valuing you only on your looks and nothing else. Because as humans, we're very multifaceted creatures. We're not one-dimensional. We shouldn't only have inherent value through our looks. We can offer so many other things. Our intelligence, our empathy, our compassion, our interests and hobbies and passions, whatever we have, So I feel like it kind of becomes a performance when we have been deemed as being the most good-looking or attractive person in the room. And as I was saying before I got derailed or off track about the whole energy thing, is sometimes when you have that type of attention on you as being very conventionally attractive, you tend to draw an unwanted energy. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, if you're the type of person who thrives off of thrives off of attention, then that's fine if it makes you feel confident and powerful in yourself. But I kind of look at it in a different way. I look at it as, you know, I want to protect my energy and protect myself. Excuse me. And I feel like if I were to be drawing in other people's attention everywhere I go, it's kind of a scary notion to me, because I might be drawing in like evil, negative energy from other people. I know that's all very woo-woo sounding. I get that. Personally, I'm a very spiritual person, so I really do believe in, like, you know, karma and all this energy talk. I know that sounds extremely woo-woo for people who aren't religious or spiritual. That's fine. You can click off the video if you don't relate to anything that I say. But if you are, you know, somewhat spiritual or open-minded to these types of notions and concepts, then feel free to listen or stay. That'd be awesome. But anyways, I feel like when you draw attention in, you tend to attract sort of like maybe like the evil eye, like someone is objectifying you in a really creepy way, or they're thinking about you in like a creepy, negative way, you know? There's a lot of bad people out there, just like there's a lot of good people, but for the most part, there's a lot of bad people out there with a lot of bad intentions. And sometimes it's good to not draw in that much attention, because you never really know who's out there, and you don't want them to be projecting their negative vibes and aura and energy your way. You want to just pretend that there's like a force field and protect your energy from the evil eye and like all of that stuff. I hope that makes sense. But let's see where I left off. So my next few points is, my next topic is that sometimes beauty does not equate to peace. I'm at a point in my life where I'm trying to cultivate and prioritize my inner peace above all else, even above being conventionally attractive, if that makes sense. But basically what I said in my notes is that being the prettiest doesn't always guarantee peace, protection, or fulfillment. Sometimes the spotlight comes with projection, jealousy, and objectification, which is what I've been kind of talking about before. There's a quiet strength in choosing peace over performance, in being okay with not turning every head in the room. So that goes into what I've kind of been yapping in the beginning of the video. So the next topic that I have here is the power of subtlety and energy protection. So this is kind of, I was getting way ahead of myself, but this is kind of, my notes are going into what I've been saying beforehand. But basically, when you're not seeking to be seen, you're more in control of your energy. You get to decide who has access to your essence, because not everyone deserves it. Subtlety can be powerful. It allows you to observe, conserve, and choose when to be seen and by whom. Presence is more impactful than presentation. Your energy speaks for you, even when your appearance isn't the loudest in the room. The next topic is embracing inner radiance. True beauty comes from how grounded, peaceful, and authentic you are, not how you look. Emphasize traits like softness, warmth, mystery, kindness, depth, and presence. These are sort of more like energetic and personality traits that you can sort of emphasize over looks if you feel, you know, a bit insecure about your looks, or, you know, you just kind of want to stand out in different ways that isn't tied to your looks. But basically, you're not here to perform, you're here to be, to exist in who you are in the moment, your most raw and authentic self. The glow of someone who protects their peace, who knows themselves deeply, is magnetic in ways surface beauty could never be. That's my favorite note that I have, and I'm gonna repeat it just because I love it so much. And it's basically the whole essence of this video captured in that one quote. The glow of someone who protects their peace, who knows themselves deeply, is magnetic in ways surface beauty could never be. So I don't think I have to go deeper in explaining that, but just kind of let that sit and resonate with you, because I really do think that's my favorite quote here. Lastly, I can't believe we're already at past 15 minutes, but these are kind of just like my closing thoughts before I sort of wind down and end the video. But I want to remind everyone and anyone who's watching this video that they are enough, regardless of where they fall on society's beauty spectrum. It's okay if you don't necessarily fit society's beauty standards, whether you're female identifying or male identifying, that's okay, you know? I feel like, personally, females are kind of more subjected to beauty standards, but I know men can be as well. So I'm not saying like either or, but I just feel like you're enough as you are, even if you don't fit society's beauty standards. That's sort of the point that I'm making here. And you don't have to be the prettiest girl in the room to be powerful, worthy, or unforgettable. Protect your peace, cultivate depth, let your presence speak louder than your appearance ever could. Confidence isn't about being admired, it's about being aligned with your truth. So those are some really powerful last thoughts and words that I kind of wanted to leave you with before I end this video. But basically, I think it's better to cultivate your depth as a person, and that's a very subjective notion, and you can sort of take it as you will, however you want to understand that. When I say depth, it can mean cultivating interests or passions or hobbies that you want to talk about, anything at all that isn't pertaining to your physical features and looks. Having depth as a person means that you can be known for other things that aren't just your looks. And I think that's a really powerful thing. And it kind of makes it feel like you can just be yourself in any room you walk into and cultivate more meaningful connections with other humans and just other people in general. But yeah, I'm just gonna put my laptop down real quick. But that is the end of this video. I hope everyone enjoyed it. I'm sorry that the lighting is kind of weird now because I put my shades up so that the sun could shine in. I have like a window right here on my right side. But the sun is going down currently because I'm filming a little later in the day, so the lighting has changed throughout the video. But I'm sorry if it looks weird. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I hope this video kind of helps anyone sort of dealing with insecurities about their looks. And especially if you're introverted like I am, it's honestly a pretty good thing to not draw attention, to not be the hottest person in the room. It's okay. It's better for introverts like me. And you can kind of protect yourself and protect your energy a bit more. But yeah, I'm just gonna end it here before I blabber on too much longer, because I feel like I can yap all day about this topic. It means a lot to me. So thank you so much for everyone watching, and I hope you can resonate with the topic of this video because I know it's very important to me. Bye.